What's the story, Morning Glory? What's the word, Hummingbird? Thank you so much for clicking on my channel and for joining me for this review of 90 Day The Single Life Season 4, Episode 9, Tyray Shoots His Shot. So let's get into Tyray. So when we see Tyray, he tells us that he is still on his quest into finding his first love, to experience his first kiss, his first relationship. And what better place to find all of that than in a New Orleans bar? So he's at the bar with his two brothers, and one particular woman catches his eye, the lady in red. Her name is Raina, 25 years old. So he approaches Raina, introduces himself to her. You know, she seems really receptive. They're talking, they're getting to know each other. They even step out onto the balcony so they can talk a little bit better in private. And as they're conversing, she asks him, "So Tyray, what do you do for a living?" And he tells her, "Oh, nothing." And then he tells her that he is his mother's caretaker. So then they make plans to meet later on, which they do at a house party. And they're at this house party, they're talking, chopping it up, getting to know each other better. And he is telling us in his confessional that he is so smitten by this girl, and he wants to know what her dreams and aspirations are, what are her goals in life, what inspires her in life. But then when we see them again, he's asking her, what is she willing to do for his Mardi Gras beads, because he's got a necklace on, a Mardi Gras necklace, and he wants to know what is she willing to do to get it. And I was like, well, what about knowing about her dreams and aspirations and all her goals in life? But anywho, so he basically asks her, hey, what are you willing to do for my Mardi Gras beads? And she's like, I don't know. And then he says to her, well, what if I give you a kiss? And she says, yes, you can give me a kiss, but only on the cheek. So he kisses her on the cheek and gives her the cheap dollar store Mardi Gras necklace. Okay, it wasn't even like the real fancy Mardi Gras beads, like the ones with the really big balls or the ones that light up. And it was just, the stuff that you find at the dollar store. So after that, he asks her, can we go back to my hotel? And I'm thinking, oh, okay, that's where we're at now. So she's like, yeah, sure, we can go back to the hotel. So they get back to the hotel, but they don't even go up to his room. Instead, they just, chill at the pool. So at the pool, they're talking, and he is really feeling this girl, and he's just waiting for the right time to ask her a really important question. And the question was, first he tells her that I feel like there's a lot of chemistry between us. We're getting along really well. It's like I've known you all my life. And he tells her, or he asks her finally, well, how do you feel about long distance relationships, or is it too soon? And she tells him, yeah, it's a little bit too soon. And she says that if I force something, it never really works out for me. So she just wants things to kind of play out naturally between them, but she definitely wants to start off as friends. She didn't necessarily close the door on anything more, but she was just like, right now, we can be friends, we can kick it, we can hang out, keep in contact with one another, and we'll just see where that goes. And so he was really cool with that. Now Tyray felt really proud of himself that he put himself out there, and he wasn't afraid to do that. He wasn't shy about it. He wasn't hesitant about it. So he's like slowly but surely working up his courage to put himself out there to try to find love. And of course, we're all really proud of Tyray. And I felt like his encounter with Raina was a little bit more realistic than his encounter with Teresa. I don't know why, but I just felt like this was a little bit more organic, and I was more invested in this than I was with whatever he had going on with the other chick. So hopefully, third time's the charm for Tyray. Moving on from there, let's talk about John. So John is out bowling with his brother Patrick and his sister-in-law Thais. And he tells us that ever since Megan went back to Texas, things have been really distant between him and Megan. It's not hot and heavy as it used to be. And he blames it all on Patrick and Thais. And he tells them, hey, she did not have a good trip here in Las Vegas because y'all told her all of these things about me, and now she's having all of these doubts, and she's having second thoughts, and I need her to understand that I'm really serious about her. And what he's referring to is when they had all gone out to dinner, Patrick and Thais had told Megan that John was not ready for a relationship, he wasn't ready for a family, he wasn't ready for anything. He was still living this bachelor single lifestyle, and this really turned Megan off, and she saw it as a red flag. So it made her rethink things. And so he lays it out to Patrick and Thais, and he's like, yeah, y'all really messed it up for me. I really like this girl, and I really want to pursue something serious, and I'm going to have to prove it to her. And so Patrick is like, you're not talking about moving to San Antonio, are you? And he's like, that's exactly what I'm talking about. So the next time that we see John, he's on FaceTime with Megan, and he tries to convince her, hey, don't pay attention to anything that my brother, my sister-in-law said. I am serious about you. I do want this to work out. In fact, I'm even willing to move to San Antonio if you'll let me. And Megan was like, well, if that's what you really want to do, now she's happy. She said, well, if that's what you really want to do. And he's like, yeah, of course, I would love to do that. So he's making plans, or he's heavily considering moving to San Antonio to be with this girl. And I'm like, John, what are you doing? You're playing right into her hand. I don't know. To me, it seems like John is either like blindly falling for this woman, or he's just really lonely, or he just really misses a bed partner. I don't know, but I'm still not buying this love story between Patrick and Megan. I'm still not buying, and not Patrick, between John and Megan, because something about Megan to me seems insincere. She still kind of seems like an opportunist to me, and I just don't like the fact how she's really trying to rush things with him. And he's the kind of guy that likes to take it kind of slow, and she's trying to rush things with him, and I just don't really care for that. So I hope he knows exactly what he's doing. Moving on from there, let's talk about your girl Natalie. So Natalie has just recently broken up with Josh. And now she's realizing that her clock is ticking. She still wants to be a mother, but she ain't got time to be waiting around on these men who are not about nothing. So she has decided to go to a fertility clinic. And she says that she doesn't need a man to be a mom, and she's going to have this baby one way or the other. Her mother, of course, still wants her to do it the traditional way. Her mother really wants her to reconcile with Michael, but that's not in the cards right now. So they're at the fertility clinic. She has a consultation with the doctor, and I don't really remember what her and the doctor talked about, but she was telling the doctor like why she wants to do this, that she had been pregnant before, but she had a miscarriage. I don't remember anything else that was said between her and the doctor. But then after the doctor, she sees like a specialist who works at the clinic. Not a doctor, but some type of a specialist. And she brings out her catalog of men. And so Natalie is flipping through, looking at all the potential donors, looking at their pictures, reading their profiles and their biopics, and everything sounds wonderful, of course, right? Everybody's handsome, athletic, smart, Harvard grad, all this stuff. So as she's looking at the picture, she's all of a sudden having, a change of heart. And she tells us that, I think I want to have a baby with the man that I'm in love with. And I'm like, okay, what just happened to Miss I don't need a man, I'll have this baby by my damn self? What happened to all of that we literally saw 3 minutes ago? Now all of a sudden she's like, no, I really do want to have a man in my life, and I want to have a child with the man that I'm in love with. Okay, make up your mind. Okay, good for you, Natalie, but please make up your mind, because I'm having whiplash trying to keep up with all of your storylines. Moving on to Debbie. So when we see Debbie, her and her son Julian are on their way to meet up with Ruben, because Julian wants to have a one-on-one conversation with Ruben to try to figure out what are his true intentions with Debbie. What does he really want with his mother? So they get to the place after the small talk. Julian gets right down to business, and he asks Ruben, what is it exactly do you see in my mom? What drew you to her? And Ruben says, well, I've always been attracted to blondes with blue eyes, and that's your mom. So yeah, and she also seems really family oriented. Because, on their date, all she could talk about was her children, all this and that. Okay, fine. So then Julian asks him, have you ever been arrested? And he's like, I've never been arrested. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. Ruben is just as boring as this episode. The only thing that he does is he gambles. Okay, fine. So I'm looking at this and I'm watching Julian. Julian to me is like, I'm not interested in Julian. I don't know what the hell is going on. I don't know why he's putting up this act. I don't know if it's an act or if this is how he really is. Of being his mom's protector. And, okay, fine, you can be your mom's protector, but the fact that you had to travel to Florida with her when she's trying to meet this man, yeah, I don't get it. I really don't get it. You should have been traveling with her to Morocco, but you didn't. But you traveled with her to Florida to keep an eye on your mom, because you don't want her making dumb decisions like she did with what's his name, Osama. I don't know what's going on. To me, it's like it's just a fake storyline. I'm not interested in Julian. I don't want to see Julian on this show. I don't care about Julian. Let him be this overbearing son off camera. So then him and Ruben are still conversing, and he tells Ruben that about Osama. I guess Ruben had no idea that Debbie was in this relationship with this 24-year-old kid. So her son tells Ruben, yeah, my mom was dating this 24-year-old Moroccan boy. She even went to Morocco to start living with him over there, and it got really tumultuous. They had a really bad breakup. Now she's back here, but she's still sending him money. And I'm like, Julian, why are you telling this man all of this stuff? This is not your story to tell. This is for your mom to talk about, if she wants anybody to know that she is still giving money to Osama's family. I'm curious. Like, Debbie, what are you doing? Why are you supporting Osama's family? Well, not supporting, but why are you giving money to Osama's family? Because when we saw Osama's family, they were doing pretty damn fine. Okay, they look to be very much middle class. So why are you sending them? Are you sending money to Osama's family, or are you sending money to Osama? What's really going on, Debbie? So, but just telling your son that you're trying to help out his family. Anyways, I'm not interested in Julian. I don't think it was his place to tell Ruben about what his mom was doing with her money. To me, Julian seems like the kind of cop, because he is a police officer. He seems like the kind of police officer who would stop you and give you a ticket because you didn't make a full stop at a two-way intersection, and just really run you the riot act and give you this ticket and act like, like he's doing some type of big drug bust, but all he's doing is giving you a ticket because you did a California roll at the stop sign. That's the kind of person that's the kind of vibe that I'm getting from Julian. He does way too much. He takes himself way too damn seriously. I don't know how important your job is, Julian. If you have time to go to Miami with your mom, go to the tell-all, follow your mom around everywhere. I don't get it. I don't understand what's going on, Julian. But I'm not interested. If I have to be subjected to Debbie, I don't want to see Julian. Anyways, that's my review. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. On your way out, please don't forget to rate the video. If you like this content, subscribe to my channel, and I'll definitely talk to you later. Bye.